Have you ever wanted to get pre-qualified for a home loan but were too nervous to do so? Well, don't be. I will walk you through the process and be by your side, step by step. I'm Celeste Cahill. I'm the lender who cares.
What's up? It is the Ace Michaels Show, and that's where you're at. You're on Facebook.com, Ace Michaels Show, or you're on YouTube, or you're on Google Video, or you're on Vimeo. One way or another, you're on that doggone www, and you're watching the Ace Michaels Show. Let me get this thing started with a bone I've got to pick. White people, here's the deal. Black people can make more movies besides Black Panther themed movies. You feels me? So like for years, white people had cinema, and the only roles you wanted to give black people were like, hey Miss Lowly, I've been dipping here to watching them and Children's is real good for you. And then you give us like an Academy Award for some dumbass slave movie. I don't want to be in your slave movies. I mean, I do. If there's Academy Award, I want front. I do want the Academy Award, but I don't want to play no damn slaves. We couldn't play nothing in movies for years unless we was playing pimps, pushers, drug dealers, hookers, and now this year finally we put a movie out, and the compliments people are saying like don't even make sense. They're like, oh, it was so well produced and shot so beautifully. It's like, dude, what do you think we were going to do? We take the cameras out and, like, strap them onto a bunch of lowriders? And you know what I'm saying? Like, hello. The only roles we could get for years were, like, the bad guy or the best wise friend who knows everything about how to get the white people out of the jungle, but somehow ends up dying in the third frame of the film. So now Black Panther has set a precedent. But not just Black Panther. There's movies coming now where we're starting to see black actresses. Hello! That's a thing! Black actresses getting their due, getting to play roles that are substantial roles. You get the show Scandal. You ever seen that show Scandal? That's a substantial black role. Like, when I was a kid, we never saw black people play something like that. It just didn't happen. Now, black people can be more than James Bond's girlfriend. There's a lot going on. So, on the show today, I brought on a professional actress to our show. As I want to talk about that, I want to also talk about what she's got going on. If you have any ideas, opinions, convictions, suggestions, beliefs about this topic, you're more than welcome to email us. Our email is beonthebuzz@yahoo.com, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about the resurgence of film in general and all of the placement of these black actors. Woohoo! Go black folks! All right, so welcome to the show. My guest, the beautiful, lovely, and talented Modest Jones is with us. Modest Jones! Woo!
Thank you, Ace. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you look like you're on your way to one of those Oscar-winning festival situations with this beautiful gown and the earrings. Woo!
Oh, thank you. You know what they say. Dress up, show up.
Yes, exactly.
And I put this dress on, let me tell you.
And you know how to dress, too, which is not an easy thing. The fashion. Like, you knew what to put together with what. And that's important. That's
I like
pretty
to express
half the
myself
battle.
through my clothes, express my moods through my clothes, for sure.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit about your backstory. You got to have an amazing backstory to have gotten where you've gotten, darling.
Okay, well, I came on the scene as a hip-hop video model. I actually started out in music management and promotions and all these behind-the-scenes kind of thing until guys started telling me how cute I was, and I ended up in rap videos. So that's how I started originally, and then, you get a little older, you realize there's not really too much residuals in that, and then you want to go a bit outside of that box. You want some commercial work. So I came from New York to Las Vegas, planning to be in LA, of course.
Right.
And ended up here, and hey, here I am with you, so I can't be doing that bad.
What are the qualifications for a rap video? Are they like, now look, we need girls that got ass, that's willing to show that ass on this pool table, on this pole, on this, but like, what is a rap video casting like?
Okay, well, usually those who are just like in the back twerking are usually the ones that aren't giving up the boot. It's the ones that are playing the wifey in the video are the ones that actually were doing the twerking behind the scenes.
Right.
But no one wants to talk about that. And no one ever wanted to talk about the casting couch when I wanted to talk about it.
Right, exactly. Now everybody's talking about the casting couch.
Absolutely. These castings, you know how it is. All day long on set for maybe $100. Now these days, these girls don't even need money. They just want to meet the rapper. So they'll go there for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days for free just to be around these guys.
Crazy.
So things have changed.
Crazy. So during that time in your career, were there jobs that you turned down because you were like, oh, no, I'm just not going to be rolling like that?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so main roles, a lot of main roles where you were getting paid good money, thousands of dollars instead of the hundreds of dollars.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of times you'd have to get passed around quite a bit.
Wait a minute. What? No, hold on. Is this a real thing you're talking about? Like this is this is a real thing. This wasn't just your experience. Like I could pull 100 women together, and maybe over 50 of them would say they had the same experience.
Well, I don't know. It depends on what they would say, and it depends on what they were willing to do and what they're willing to admit. Because I had a documentary come out, and I was one of the only models to admit to any type of casting couch existing. Everyone else came on there. I mean, again, I went on there with my natural hair and no makeup off the street in a jean suit. And these girls came in full hair, makeup, nails, everything on, breast, ass, everything. And sat there and said that they never would ever, they've never been propositioned in such a way. Or so I don't know what they would say. It depends on who you'd ask.
And even,
but I still get emails to this day about my brutal honesty. So I know somebody's seen what I've seen.
And even some girls, you probably saw them kind of getting down on the set.
Yeah,
and you knew better. You knew, like, wow, check that out.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And so in Hollywood, there's this thing going on right now. I don't know if you know about this or not, but some of the powerful guys in Hollywood are getting called out for trying to, we'll call it hide the wiener somewhere. That's the way.
Yeah,
that's what we'll call it.
I heard a couple stories.
Yeah, so you're familiar that's a thing in Hollywood now. Is that these guys got kind of called out. Now, as a woman, obviously, the boss's dick should never come out at work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there should never be an excuse for the boss to be like, hey, I want you to come to a hotel tonight. Let's talk about the movie role. And by the way, here I am, naked! Right? It should never happen.
That's a thing. Oh, right? It shouldn't? Oh.
No. So, are you saying it happens so frequently that you think it's a thing?
I've seen the boss's penis on jobs that had nothing to do with the entertainment industry, just regular office.
Oh, no.
Yeah, especially when you get a reputation of being like a video girl or being on like a rapper's arm and things like that. They usually will take it like, oh, she might be an easy lay. Like she'll screw her way to the top. Oh yeah, I've had a penis in front of me in a boardroom before with the doors closed. Yeah.
What in the world? Listen, I always say that because I don't understand what's going on with my fellas. Like I'm a guy, I hang out with guys, but I have never ever heard a guy say, you know what? I brought her up to the office last night and I showed her my wing wang. I've never heard that.
I may be just touched in a more special way than others. I mean, God's given me a lot of blessings. Some of them I don't completely understand. But one thing I've definitely noticed is I've seen a lot more penises than most girls. And I'm not going to say that in a way. I mean, you could take that how you want to take it. But I've been known to be sitting there with my girlfriends and all of a sudden there's a penis on my phone. And there were times where it was a very unattractive penis. And I was kind of like, wow, you may have had a chance with me until you sent that penis.
Until you presumed it was okay to send me the penis.
Or ones with like horns on it and crusty ones and things. And they send it. It's like, why? I would have never known that you even had that. You would have had a chance. But yes, I've been known to be the one that, even when phones were not what our phones are to this day,
right.
I would get that picture that would take forever to load, and it would be a penis. I've seen way too many.
It would be a penis. I've seen that screensaver, and it would be a penis. I'm really at a loss for words. Because I didn't know it was that prominent. Like, you know, like I heard about it, and I knew there were some guys you just know, like this is the only way they're going to get a girl. So you get it. You go, okay, they're going to try it, right? Mm-hmm. But you're saying what would you say, it's mostly? Most guys?
Well, when I was younger, I saw it a lot more. I mean, I've come into a more grown-up, conscious age, so I don't feel like I get it as much as I used to. But when I was younger, I mean, it was a thing. And in the hip-hop industry, it was a thing because the bottom line was to get laid. I think they picked us girls based on the opportunity of possibly getting laid.
I think that's very possible. You know, I used to work for a top casting director in Hollywood, and we would get these calls from managers. You see my managers, and pimpachers. And anyway, we'd get these calls from these guys, and they would be such strange casting calls. It'd be like, hey, we looking for some open-minded girls that want to hang out with this rap artist at the club. Yeah, hanging out at the club Orpheus tonight. You know, if you got some girls that just want to hang out with a rap star, have their drinks paid for, send us their pictures and we'll call them. And it was like,
right.
What do you mean open-minded? Why do you got to be open-minded to hang out? And number one, hanging out is not a job. We're not a escort service. We're a casting service.
Right.
So you got to tell us. I mean, at least dummy up your lies. Send us some like lines for them to read or something. Like, we're not just sending girls to the damn Orpheus Club to hang out. You know what I'm saying?
We want girls to come to Orpheus that know how to keep a secret.
Right. Right, because we're not paying no hush money. Bottom line is, you better be able to hush for free. We're not paying hush money, right. Delilah. You come in here knowing. That's what's up.
Amorino Gelato, made in Europe with only the freshest and natural ingredients. You will fall in love with the beautiful design and amazing taste and texture. We never use artificial colors, dyes, or flavorings. Amorino Gelato, you'll fall in love.
Hey Las Vegas, come see me at the store. We also do catering for all your private parties and events.
So, let's talk about our topic of the day, though, which is black actresses advancing. I think it's incredible. When I was a young man, contrary to popular belief, I was a young man, and there were only 3 or 4 black actresses. I mean, and maybe 2 black actors. Like, I can remember a time when it was Eddie Murphy, Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, throw in for good measure Louis Gossett Jr., and of course Lawrence Fishburne. That's it. That's all you got. There was no one else who was a leading man in Hollywood except for those guys that I mentioned, literally. So I remember the day that I was walking past a multiplex theater, and I saw that there was one movie starring Angela Bassett, there was another movie starring Chris Rock, there was another movie starring Eddie Murphy, and I realized that all 6 of the movies at this small multiplex had a black lead actor. And I realized that I'd never seen that in my life. It was blew me away. Moment. Pieces of my brain are still, that's why I wear a hat to this day, because pieces of my brain are still like, holy shit. But how do you feel? Like, do you agree with me, first off, that there's a lot more opportunity?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I get casted for stuff now. I'll get emails, we need someone Afrocentric, you know? And I'm like, oh, okay. Nice. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So things like that, I do feel like part of this has to do with we're more seen as beautiful now than we were. And you were saying some things about Black Panther in the beginning, and I kind of bit my tongue. You were talking about the production and stuff, but I was thinking about, wow, I've never seen black people look so beautiful.
Right, right.
Like, oh.
No, it's true. Well, you know, like there's other shows too. Like the show Power is one of my favorite shows. And I mean, the sex on that show. No, that's a whole nother. The reason I love Power is because the ethnic characters look so beautiful. Like they are dressed nice. You're seeing people. Clean. They're very clean, and it's not a good story because at the end of the day, it's about drugs and selling drugs, and that's not really how we want to be seen. Right. But it's a very well put together show from the perspective of ethnic actors. Now, that being said, you go to these casting calls, right? Do you feel like the day has come where you're a shoo-in to get a role because you're a black actress? You know what I'm saying? Because for a long time, a white girl was a shoo-in.
No.
No, you don't feel like
I mean, I do feel like a lot of things, especially now, especially right here, there's a lot of reality show castings. I do know that they need a token black girl. Now, if you got a natural curl, that's a token. Like, so I do think that they're looking for one of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as going up against the white girls for a role like you and I had spoke about, like secretary, like a role like that, I mean, it just depends. I don't think it's a shoo-in at all. It's really big competition. I think that for us black people as a whole, we got to be just a bit hungrier and go a bit harder. We got to really bring something different to the table to get picked over someone else, unless it's a specifically black role. For them to turn one of our roles into a black character that wasn't at the beginning supposed to be a black character, I think you really got to blow them away for that.
Now, I had met you on a show that I wrote, and we had that dilemma about the lead character thing. So we switched you around a couple of times. But never in my thought process did I think, oh, well, this black girl can't be the lead girl. I mean, it's got to be a white guy or a white girl. My mind just doesn't go there. Like, I don't
You're
think...
black.
But you know, but I'm not like, no, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not like some super black, super black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I can see where certain roles, Charlie Brown, James Brown, not James Brown, James Bond, that needs to be a white guy. I get it. That got to be a white guy. James Bond's got to be a white guy.
Got it.
Right? But I don't think that there's any reason why we couldn't open up more roles that we generally see guys in to females, and especially black females. Because after all, the black female experience comes with a certain amount of having to deal with drama that you just bring that weight to the role. Would you agree?
Okay, absolutely. And I want to touch on something you said about being like super black, or you know what I mean?
Blackity black, yeah.
I'm kind of, people try to figure out what I am. I'm like racially ambiguous to some people. They're not sure. You know what I mean? Especially when my hair's straight and like it's black. They're not sure I'm Asian. They're not sure what's going on, Latina, But when I was reading the Gabrielle Union book, she was talking about, having to go up against somebody that's nowadays this black that's beautiful. It started off with like a Beyonce. So it's like you have a Beyonce look, right. So you're automatically beautiful because we're not really sure if you're even all the way black, Right. But if we're gonna cast a black girl, like a dark skinned black girl, she's got to be a really beautiful dark skinned black girl, right. Because they treat that almost as if it's like hard to come by. Like if she's gonna be a dark skinned black girl, she'll have to be a really beautiful one. But if she's a light skinned one, those are usually they're gonna be decent looking anyway.
So are the Mocha Girls still getting more play than the Chocolate Girls?
I don't know. I mean,
you're a caramel girl, so I think you're caramel.
Changed the game. No, Lupita changed the game out there. But yeah, I think so. I think that the dark skinned girls always have to work harder, or something's got to stand out a little bit more. But like I said, I've been reading and listening to the Gabrielle Union book, and to me, she's not even like super chocolate, but the way that she's been treated, because she's a darker girl. That's what she was referred to herself as in the book. It's very disturbing.
Well, let me ask you this: do you feel like the dark-skinned brothers, the Chocolate brothers, are having a harder time than the Mocha brothers?
I mean, it depends on the role. Now, if you have a role where it's like a Shamar Moore, like you can see them stick him somewhere where he could be around like all white people and then he's just like the token black guy, but he's kind of like doing, you know, with the white boys and they're doing the white boy lingo and stuff. They're probably like, it's kind of hard to throw Morris Chestnut in there because, you know, but we can put him on, you know, the black movies, like, you know, because he's a gorgeous black man. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it just depends. Like, is he going to be on General Hospital? I mean, maybe now, but back then, like in the 90s, like, it was different.
And let me go in this direction too. There was a time, as a father of two boys, there was definitely a time pre-Barack Obama that I would have said there were limitations on what they could become. I mean, yeah, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be an athlete. A president, nah, that's never going to happen because we've never seen it happen. Now, post-Barack Obama, I would be confident telling them they could be anything. Because
seriously, Ace, go a step further than Barack, okay? Because Barack has really great qualities. Donald Trump is our president. Like, there's days where I see the news and I'm like, what alternate universe do I live in? I'm not even a person that gets into politics. I'm just like, Donald Trump's the president? Right. I didn't even like him when he was on TV. Like, what? Like, so now anyone knows that anyone, even us actors, can be the president, like any of us.
The one thing I will say, and I don't say much in favor of Donald Trump, but the one thing I will say here on my show for the world to hear is that Donald Trump, to be called a racist and categorized as a racist and everything, actually hasn't been too bad on the brothers. Like, you know, there have been presidents that have seemed to have a more direct agenda than Donald Trump. Maybe because he's embroiled and stuff. I'm sure that whatever he's doing wasn't his ideal of what he was going to do as president. Now he's all wrapped up in a bunch of other stuff. So maybe his agenda was to shut the black man down for real. But he ain't got time because he's got too much stuff going on. Which brings our conversation full circle to penis. See, there you go. That's how it works on the show, folks.
Seriously though, if you're going to use Donald Trump and penis in the same sentence, I am going to have to end this interview. I can't even. My stomach can't even.
You can't even go there.
Absolutely not. No, I'll tell you one thing though, on a positive note. Just like you said about Barack, Donald Trump inspires us all to know that there is absolutely nothing that anyone cannot become. Anyone can be anything.
That's right. So if people want to contact you, they're going to want to reach out now, especially after this interview. They're going to be in a line. How do they reach you on social media? Do you have a project you want to promote while you're here?
Okay, so modestjones.com is my website. I do have the beginnings of my fashion line on there. I am starting to design some clothing. So you'll see some t-shirts and some things that I'm starting with. Wow. So modestjones.com. If you want to find me on social media, it is just Modest Jones. Facebook.com/ModestJones, Twitter.com, Modest Jones. I would like to promote, I'm working on a couple different projects right now. Hopefully the one you mentioned is going to do something very soon in LA. Definitely a lot more of me in LA to be seen soon. And then I am working on a web series out of Las Vegas, out of Fremont City.
Oh, wow.
So that's something to look out for. And I am in a film right now. It's called Thicker Than Water. And I will be seen on a reality show soon as well. So just follow me on modestjones.com and I will be sure to promote everything that I got going on.
Very nice. Hey man, it's Modest Jones, and if you didn't catch it, it's modestjones.com. That's pretty easy one. Modest Jones rhymes with Modest Jones.
Bones.
There you go. So that's what's up. Hey man, it's been the Ace Michaels Show. Modest Jones, my guest today. And you know what I say? Live the life you love the life you live. Thank you.
Power to the people.